Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? All right, guys. So I'm going to go over bereshith. This is Genesis in the beginning. If you have never done it before, I would highly suggest taking the time to go figure out what exactly that very first word right there means, bereshith. It is absolutely beautiful. The end has been written from the beginning, Alpha and the Omega. Oh, that is just such a beautiful word, bereshith, in beginning. So we're going to be going over Genesis 1 today, just to get a baseline, because it seems people don't believe what this says for some reason, and it's just amazing that we've been given account of what it says happened at the beginning of this particular iteration of what God wants. Let's go here. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. So in the beginning, God, the Creator, created the heavens and the earth. So that's above and below, right? And the earth came to be formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. And the earth came to be formless and empty. So right now, this isn't the planet that we're thinking of, right? Because it came to be. It says it came to be, and it was formless and empty, or formless and void. So nothing is there. And darkness was on the face of the deep. All right, so here's something. So there's a deep here. It was dark on the top of it. There was a darkness there. It was formless and void, and there was darkness on top of it. And the Spirit of God, so God's Spirit, the Spirit of Elohim, was moving on the face of the water. Some translations say vibrate. There's a lot of different ways to look at this, but he was moving. So the Spirit of God was moving on the face of the waters. That's interesting. Our God is movement. Okay. And God said, "Let light come to be." And light came to be. He said, "Let there be light." And it came there. That's amazing. We'll get into who that light is later. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim separated the light from the darkness. So our God is a separator. So all this was formless and void. His Spirit was vibrating on the face of these waters. And he said, "Light come to be." Light came. And that light was good. He separated this light. So he is a separator. Elohim called the light day, and darkness he called night. So he separated the day and the night. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, day one day. All right, so our God brought these things into being, and then immediately starts separating everything out. He starts categorizing. Okay. And Elohim said, "Let an expanse come to be in the midst of the waters." An expanse, what is that? So a space, a gap. No, not God of the gap, so calm down with that, but a gap. "Let an expanse come down to be in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." So more separation. But right now what we're looking at is, so before this we had formless and void. He's vibrating over the black. At this point he just calls light into being, right? And so this is separating the light from the dark, because before we can have any contrast to anything, we need to have light and dark, right? Okay. Before this, okay. "And Elohim made the expanse and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse, and it came to be so. He made one expanse, separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse, and it came to be so." So now there's an expanse here. We have waters above this expanse and a gap in between. Do you hear that, what it's saying right here? It says, "And Elohim made the expanse." So there's this something that he made, "and separated the waters which were above the expanse from the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. and it came to be so. And Elohim called the expanse heavens, multiple, and there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the second day. So he separated morning from day on the first day. At this point, we're going to start separating these waters with this expanse that's in the midst of everything. He called the expanse heavens, right? And Elohim said let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it came to be so, right? So the second day created this expanse that we call heavens, right? So they're up above. So now we're getting to let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, right? So at this point, we're taking these waters that were separated above, or that were under the heavens, right? But there's actually water above the heavens also. This is what God says, okay? So right now he's taken all these waters and now he's made land in the midst of it, okay? Land wasn't even there before, right? There was expanse, there were the heavens. He gathers all this water and now land comes, okay? And Elohim called the dry land earth, right? And so like that's in quotations right there, because like we came to be, like when we were up top, right? In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth, right? And the earth came to be formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the spirit of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. So there's a little bit of a misnomer here, obviously, right? Because we're talking about two different things here. And Elohim called the dry land earth, okay? So obviously, this up here is different from this down here. And the collections of the waters he called seas. And Elohim saw that it was good, right? So at this point, he separated the land from the water, calling them two different things. And now we have the earth and the seas. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass and plant that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth. And it came to be so. And so why is this important, right? Like we're not actually, like most people wouldn't see how this is important until you get to be today, when you start looking at companies like Monsanto, and you start looking at these particular companies that are genetically modifying the food that God made, and they're taking the seeds out of itself, and even turning around and going, okay, no, a banana is not a banana is actually a blueberry banana. And they're mixing these things together, right, which God has separated with plant and seeds within itself. Do you see where we're going here? This is where, like, all these things, like, one at a time, they've all been perverted by this world and these people that are in this world thinking they know what's right. Because they're like, oh, this food isn't good enough, let's make it better, or let's use it to control people, or, right? I mean, when God just said, no, there's plants here, they have seeds within themselves, they're going to make themselves. An orange is not going to make an apple. That's crazy. Like, why would you do that? That doesn't even make any sense. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to have these seeds within themselves, okay? And Elohim called the dry land earth, the collection of the waters. He called the seas, and Elohim saw that it was good. Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass, the plant that yields seed, and the fruit trees that yield fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth. And it came to be so. And the earth brought forth grass, the plant that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. Right, so God said, let it be so, and then it became so. The earth brought forth her grass this time, the plant that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. Wow, that's amazing how God is just setting this up perfectly for plants and animals and everything that's coming along. Okay. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the third day. And Elohim said, let lights come to be in the expanse of the heavens, and separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and appointed times, and for days and years. So at this point, we just got done with the third day. God comes in. He says, let lights come to be in the expanse of the heavens. So he's created this expanse. We have these heavens. This expanse is separating the day from the night, right? So we're not even talking about the sun and the moon here, but this expanse is what's creating the day from the night. and let these be for signs and appointed times and for days and years. So he created these lights. He created stars in the heavens. He created these celestial bodies that we are going to use for signs and appointed times and for days and years. Literally our calendar, guys. Like, he put our calendar in the sky. Come on. And let them be for lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth. And it came to be so, right? So first of all, he put us a calendar in heaven, in the heavens, to tell us exactly what time it is, okay? And let these be also for lamps for us so we can see, right? How amazing is that, right? Like, this thing that in the stars that we get to see is a calendar. And then at the same time, he's using them so we can see by, I don't know how many of you live in big cities or see what's going on, but if you look up at night, can you see the calendar anymore? It's been hidden. It's been washed out from the light here instead of using the light of God. The light of these cities is what's drowning out the light of God, the calendar of God. And it says this is going to happen at the end, that the lights are going to be going out. They're going to be falling down. And so you can look at it one way, you can look at it another, but one way or another, those lights are going out. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night and the stars. That's a funny one right here, right? So it looks like we're about halfway through, right? The fourth day, and God is just now making the sun. So why is it that throughout history, all these different people are worshiping that light? They're worshiping the sun. They're worshiping, like, it's so funny. We see here how important the sun is for light and everything else from God. I'm not saying it's not important, but he already created the plants. He already had it ready to go. He already had it going, right? And then we have this. All right. And Elohim set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, right? So he made these two lights. He made these two things, put them in the heavens to give light on the earth, to give us that most beautiful thing, which is light. Okay. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. So yet more separation. Holy, holy, holy. We are going to separate. And one of these has been given dominion over the day, right? So over the ability for it to be called daytime, right? It is the ruler over the daytime. And then we have a ruler over the nighttime. It gives us light by the dark. Basically a glorified lamp, okay? And there came to be evening and there came to be morning the fourth day. So we're at the end of the fourth day. Separate yet again another day. And Elohim said, let the waters teem with shoals of living beasts, and let the birds fly above the earth on the face of the expanse of the heavens. So at this point, he has put he has put the living beings, these things that move, because God, our God is the God of the living. He put them in the water, and the birds are flying above the earth. So they're flying above the land, and they are on the face of the expanse of the heavens, right? So if we look up, we see what the face of the expanse of the heavens is, right? All you have to do is look up, and you'll see the birds flying against it. And Elohim created the great sea creatures and every living being that moves, with which the waters teemed, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. So we have the water and the air creatures that were all created them. And Elohim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and increase, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning the fifth day. So on the fifth day, he is massively moving and putting in all the sea creatures, the moving things of the water. And he gave them the same thing that he's going to tell us. But his command to them was be fruitful and multiply. Correct? And he saw that it was good. That was the blessing, was increase. Not decrease, increase. Just keep increasing. Keep increasing. I'm the one that gives the increase. That's my command to you. Keep increasing. And there came to be morning the 5th day. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living being according to its kind, livestock and creeping creature, and beast on the earth according to his kind. And it came to be so. God said, so check this out. So from the earth, right? So it says the other ones, Elohim created great sea creatures and every living being that moves, with which the waters teemed according to their kind, and every winged bird according to his kind. So if I'm reading this correctly, what we're saying here is that so God created these things now, but after that, and Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living being according to its kind. So at this point, livestock and creeping creatures and beasts of the earth according to its kind, and it came to be so. So all of the land beasts, all the land creatures, at this point, God has brought them from the dirt, right? Like the earth bring forth. The earth is bringing forth these things at this time. And Elohim made the beast of the earth according to its kind, livestock according to its kind, and all that creep on the earth according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. There's no hybrids here. There's no monkey pigs. There's no whatever. Everything is according to its kind. It's all categorized. God is great. He is organizing here, right? He's made all these things. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heaven, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping creatures that creep in the ground. So this is a very good thing, right? I mean, like at this point, God has given man dominion over this thing that he's calling earth, this amazing thing that he just created. He started pulling these beasts from the earth, and at this point, he has made a man that has been according to his image and his likeness, the God. He is amazing. And Elohim created the man in his image. In the image of Elohim, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Okay. He created man in his image. In the image of Elohim, he created him. In the image of God, in his own image, male and female, he created them. So we look like God, and we will get into being images of God and imagers of God a little bit later, but we are mostly covering one, and don't want to get stuck on that for too long because that's a long subject. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, be fruitful and increase, or be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, right? So categorize it, man, make it make sense. And rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over all creeping creatures on the earth, right? So he's given us dominion over all the animals. So our job right here, what God has told us, be fruitful and increase, fill the earth and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the heavens, and over the birds of the heavens, and over all the creeping creatures of the earth. And Elohim said, see, I have given you every plant that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it is for food. Okay, so this is where people get it kind of mixed up in the beginning as far as like what happened, as far as did he give us animals to eat? Okay, so Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, be fruitful and increase, and fill the earth and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the creeping creatures on the earth. He told us to subdue them and rule over them, right? Right rulings, right judgment, good decisions, okay? And Elohim said, see, I have given you every plant that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. For you it is for food. So at this point in history, we are vegetarians, okay? Animals aren't eating each other at this point. They're eating fruit. They're eating the plant that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it is for food, okay? and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to every creeping creature on the earth in which there is living being, every green plant is for food. And it came to be so. So at this point, every animal and everything on the earth that's here is only eating plants. Okay? This is going to become an issue. Okay. It's going to become a huge issue, as you all know. And Elohim saw all that he had made, and see, it was very good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the sixth day. All right. So this is the end of the sixth day. God's created man. He's created everything. And unfortunately, the way that they have this split up is they end one right there, which God will use everything for his good. But we're going to continue until we actually get to the end of day 7 and what that means. Okay, thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their array. And in the seventh day Elohim completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. So God has finished creating the heavens and the earth, the plants, the animals, the humans. And it's good. Okay. And the seventh day, he completed his work, which he had done. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work, which he had made. So at this point, he's resting. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work, which Elohim in creating had made. So the creator God, the beautiful one, is done making everything he's done, and he's resting. And this is where we start to see how much he loves us, because this day, one day out of the week, has been separated from us to rest, to do, call it a dopamine detox, to be bored, to not worry about so many of the cares of the world, to not to let your week go, to spend time with those you love, to worship God in a light and loving way, just not doing too much. It's rest from work. And it's for us. It's not for God. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and set it apart. It's like, yet again, categorization, setting everything apart. He's the God of division. All right, so we'll just go ahead and end it right there, because that should be the end of chapter 1. And what's funny is, right, because this is where, right, God separated the seventh day from the sixth day, right? So more accurately, like, this might be, so chapter 2 would be 1 through 3, and then chapter 3 would be starting at chapter 2-4. Well, that's a little bit complicated and whatever. We'll just go with what it is. Just understand that this doesn't end until 2-3. And then we're going to start over with another story, which is the same story, but just looking at it in a different way. And this is looking at the births of the heavens and the earth, and looking at it from more of a perspective of what's going on with Adam, how that kind of dynamic starts to begin to work in this relationship between man. And then obviously when we get into 3, we'll get into the fall, but we'll do those. And I'll go through 2 and 3 for those of you who are interested. I'm going to try to cover as much of this as I can. Yeah. All right, guys. Love you. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless.